Yes, human feces can be used as a fertilizer for plants, as it contains key nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium that are essential for plant growth. However, it must be properly treated before use to avoid serious health and environmental risks. Risks of using untreated human waste. Raw human feces contain pathogens, including bacteria, viruses, and parasitic worms, that can cause diseases. Applying untreated feces directly to plants, especially edible crops, can contaminate them and pose a significant risk to human health. Furthermore, human waste can contain a variety of contaminants, such as pharmaceuticals, microplastics, and heavy metals, which can build up in the soil and water supply over time. The humanure process. The safest and most effective way to use human feces for plants is through a process called humanure composting. This involves a controlled decomposition process that uses a special compost toilet and a compost pile. The process requires a carbon-rich bulking material, such as sawdust or wood chips, to be added after each use. This helps to create air pockets for aerobic decomposition, balance the carbon-to-nitrogen ratio, and reduce odor. The compost pile must reach and maintain high temperatures, at least 131 degrees Fahrenheit or 55 degrees Celsius, to kill off harmful pathogens. After a prolonged period of composting, typically at least 1 to 2 years, the resulting product is a safe, nutrient-rich soil amendment similar to other organic composts. For safety, it's generally recommended to use finished humanure on non-edible plants like ornamental shrubs or trees, and to avoid using it on fruits and vegetables that will be eaten. For a video on how to use human waste as compost, check out How I Compost My Poop in a Simple Compost Toilet Humanure. This video is relevant because it demonstrates a simple way to compost human waste at home for use in gardening. YouTube video views will. Even though human waste can be used to make a safe and effective fertilizer, you won't find compost made from it on store shelves for a combination of reasons. Regulations and safety concerns. Strict government regulations govern the production and sale of compost and fertilizers. To be sold commercially, a product must meet rigorous safety standards, including being free of harmful pathogens and contaminants. While a proper composting process, like the humanure method, can kill pathogens, there are concerns about other persistent contaminants, such as pharmaceuticals, heavy metals, and industrial chemicals, that can enter the waste stream and accumulate in the final product. Proving a product is consistently free of these contaminants on a commercial scale is a major logistical and financial challenge. Public perception and the yuck factor. This is arguably the biggest obstacle. There's a strong social and psychological aversion to the idea of using human waste, even in a highly treated and safe form. The yuck factor makes it a difficult product to market and sell to the general public, who may be uncomfortable with the concept, especially for use on food crops. Logistical challenges. The process of collecting, treating, and storing human waste for composting on a commercial scale is complex and expensive. It requires specialized facilities, strict handling protocols, and continuous testing to ensure quality and safety. It's often more cost-effective for municipalities to use other disposal methods for their sewage sludge. Alternative uses for human waste. Municipal wastewater treatment plants do treat human waste solids, often called biosolids or sewage sludge. After treatment, this material is often used as a soil amendment in agriculture, particularly for non-food crops or on land that will be used for crops with a long maturation period. This use is regulated and controlled, but it generally doesn't involve being packaged and sold directly to consumers in garden stores. In summary, while the science shows that human waste can be a valuable resource for composting, the regulatory hurdles, public perception, and logistical challenges make it a non-viable product for the retail consumer market. Between urine and feces, urine is generally considered the superior and safer choice for use as a fertilizer, especially for home gardeners. Here's a breakdown of why. Urine, the liquid gold. Nutrient profile. Urine is exceptionally rich in nitrogen N, which is crucial for promoting lush, green, leafy growth in plants. It also contains significant amounts of phosphorus P and potassium K, the other two primary macronutrients found in commercial fertilizers. In fact, studies show that over 80% of the nitrogen and 65% of the phosphorus we excrete are in our urine. The NPK ratio of urine is often comparable to commercial fertilizers. Safety. Human urine is generally sterile when it leaves a healthy body. This means it doesn't contain the harmful pathogens, bacteria, viruses, and parasites found in feces. This drastically reduces the risk of spreading disease and makes it much safer to handle and apply to plants, even edible crops. Ease of use. Urine can be used as a liquid fertilizer. It's recommended to dilute it with water, a 1:10 ratio is a common starting point, to prevent burning plants with a high concentration of salts. It can be applied directly to the soil around plants or used to supercharge a compost pile, as its high nitrogen content helps break down carbon-rich materials like wood chips or leaves. Contaminants. While urine can contain trace amounts of pharmaceuticals, studies have shown that these contaminants are often broken down by soil microorganisms. The risk is considered much lower than with feces. Feces, the solid challenge. Nutrient profile. Feces do contain nutrients, including nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, as well as valuable organic matter that improves soil structure. Safety. The biggest drawback of feces is the high risk of pathogens. Untreated feces can carry a host of disease-causing organisms. To be used safely, feces must undergo a rigorous, long-term composting process like the humanure method that reaches and maintains high temperatures to kill these pathogens. This process is time-consuming and requires careful management. Handling. Feces are much more difficult to handle and apply than urine. The yuck factor and the inherent risks mean that they require a dedicated system for collection and composting, which is not practical for most home gardeners. Contaminants. Feces can contain a wider range of contaminants than urine, including microplastics, heavy metals, and persistent chemicals that can be more difficult to break down and can accumulate in the soil over time. Conclusion. For most home gardeners, urine is a much more practical and safer choice for recycling human waste into a useful resource. Its high nitrogen content and low pathogen risk make it an excellent and free liquid fertilizer. Feces, while containing valuable nutrients, require a much more intensive and controlled process to be used safely, and are better suited for large-scale, well-managed composting systems.